True believers. It's us. It's Dan. It's I. We are here for the Professional Casual Network's Povlog. Wait, did I roll a wild? A Marvel Crisis Protocol Povlog. I am your host this week, Tim Dumpster Fire France. With me, as always, is Dan. Looks great in plaid. Cole.
Thanks.
This week, we got 2 cards.
We got, real information.
We got actual, legitimate...
Well, I guess we did last week, too, with Sinister's card, but
yes.
We were promised these cards. One was a little late. It was ironic that Quicksilver was late, but we got it. We kind of thought that we weren't going to end up getting it, but we did. You know, it's like when your barbecue sauce packet is at the bottom of the McDonald's bag, and you're going through your fries and you're going through your napkins and you're like, I have nothing to dip my nuggets in. Why would you even eat nuggets with nothing to dip them in?
Right. I'm not going to eat them dry.
You'd be a monster.
Right. I mean, I do eat them dry when I'm driving alone in the car because it's too cumbersome to hold a barbecue sauce packet in one hand while steering and then also trying to get things without putting crumbs and barbecue sauce everywhere.
Nah, just send it.
Fair. Fair.
Or you could just, one hand, take the barbecue sauce packet, just pour some in your mouth, put it down in a cup holder, grab a nugget and shove it in there. Sometimes I kind of eat Oreos like that. Well, I'll just put an Oreo in my mouth. Then I'll take a swig of milk and just let it dissolve in my mouth. And it's just like...
I do that. I don't know if anyone... This is probably absolutely going to be alone in this. But...
Oh, no.
You know how when you want to consume an entire sleeve of Ritz crackers very quickly? Just because you need to fill a void inside of your soul? So you're like, obviously, Ritz is the way to do this. And you take 4 crackers at a time and you put them in your mouth and you take a couple sips of water just to get it down quicker so you can shove more.
You're in a hot dog eating competition?
Yeah, except alone at 2 a.m. Because I can't sleep. But yeah, so we got the Quicksilver card and we got the fucking bombshell.
Whew.
Thunder Thigh McQueen.
Yeah, slap in the face with those thighs. Scarlet Witch. Wowzers.
Yeah.
She looks brutal.
Absolutely brutal. Before we get into that, we'll talk super briefly about games played last week. I played Big Chuck on, the Power Phase over on the Twitch and twitch.tv/Professional Casual Networks.
Yeah.
Some might call it. We played Criminal Syndicate against a Mystique-led Brotherhood.
Yeah, it was nice to see the Freedom Force there. I completely forgot what her affiliation was. I had to look it up on MCPDB, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's right.
It's super unique. It is very good. I like it a lot. I wish I had used the lateral part of that affiliation ability a little bit better. The thing where when you pick up an objective token, you get a power afterwards. It doesn't reduce it.
Just interacting with an objective token, then you get a power afterwards.
Yes.
Which is kind of weird that, it's nice you get refunded.
Yes.
But, if it was just, you didn't pay to interact the first time you interact, like that X-Men card.
Right.
Was that first class? Or to me, my X-Men? I think it's first class.
First class.
If her power just worked like that, obviously that would be better. Because you're going to have to already have the power. But the fact that it gets refunded is pretty awesome.
And it kind of amounts to the same thing. Because in round 1, the goal with that, or what's that?
He said round 1, so I said fight.
Oh, in round 1, for that, when you're going for hammers or something where you're going to be able to interact with things anyway, the goal is to be able to do it twice, right? Or to save that power, or to end your turn with a little extra power. And it does the same thing.
Super good on hammers that make cards cost more, so you already have that 1 power extra from not having to pay for picking it up. So I'd like to see more. I'm definitely going to be trying out some Freedom Force.
Yeah.
With these new Brotherhood models.
Yes.
Hopefully Sinister's part of that, but we'll find out eventually.
Yeah, I feel like he's got to be.
Hopefully Friday.
Yeah. I'm super stoked for that.
I'm super excited. I went into Bearded Dragon today just to pick up weekly comics, and I was like, oh man, 1 more week, and I can actually get more MCP models that we haven't had since February.
It's been
March,
a long
maybe?
time. What were the Inhumans the last ones released?
That sounds right.
Oof. Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I I feel bad. I haven't like every week Chuck talks about like hobby stuff, and it's like I haven't. I think I repainted Captain America a few months ago, and that's it. I haven't done anything. Like I have a bunch of Star Wars Legion stuff in my display case ready to be painted, and I just don't have the motivation because no one's playing that right now.
I actually have some hobby news.
What?
Not anything that I've did or progressed on in any way, shape, or form, but I have been heavily looking on Thingiverse for an expanded version of the Mjolnir case to fit all of your MCP stuff in.
That sounds kind of cool.
It is so rad. It's 3D printed. It's a big hammer, and every like chunk of the hammer comes off, and it either holds a bunch of the character cards. It has little holes punched around the things for all the different tokens, and then in the handle for the hammer, you put all of your measurement tools.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
So just being able to throw that in the car and not have to worry about stuff falling out or things being firmly clasped and falling all over the place, that would be super sweet to have.
When I bring models to the store for the stream, I put them in a metal lunchbox that I have little magnets on the bottom, so they go punk.
It works super well every week when I get my group ready. I'm like, I need to stop using this cardboard box. I will get something better than this.
And then
and then I don't do that. So,
well, I mean, if you want to get some cool stuff, accessory type things, we have a promo code.
Yeah, promo code.
I guess is the way to say it. The Etsy store Kago2. If you use the promo code PowerPhase at checkout, you save 10%. Because they're awesome over there. They did a custom artwork for me to make Iceman measuring sticks. That was great. And they were super cool. They were really quick with it, and they were exactly what I was looking for. They were perfect. And thinking about seeing if we could get some the Power Phase ones. That
would be super dope. Chuck got me an X-Men set that I really, really, really like.
That was why I got custom made ones, because I really wanted the X-Men ones, and I was like, I don't want to just have the same ones Tim had.
Listen, I'm the same exact way. I pour. So especially with all these models coming out, I've been pouring over Google image searches for alternate costumes for all of those characters, because I want mine to look just different enough to be able to distinguish them on the table. Do you have any pre-machinations, speaking of hobby stuff, about how you will be painting some of the models that may be coming out this week?
I'm heavily considering doing Quicksilver in his original green instead of blue. But I love blue.
Fair.
But he's like that. Well, I guess it's like ice blue, sky blue kind of thing. But when his first appearances, he was green.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking about doing that. But other than that, like Mr. Sinister would probably be more or less Mr. Sinister. I might try to go with that kind of metallic blue.
Yeah.
I'm no patron saint Dallas Kemp.
Oh, Dallas Kemp.
I feel
what
like
I'm a
decent painter, but he's leagues above me.
World class.
But I kind of want to try to that metallic look on Sinister. Scarlet Witch, I think she'll just be that. I'm gonna go. I haven't decided what to do with her like chaos energy around her.
Yeah.
Maybe more like a dark, like a reddish purple kind of thing instead of just more red. Add something else in there. And then Sin and Viper, I don't know enough about those characters. I'll probably just paint them, like on the box.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel super inspired with them, but maybe I'll look up something.
Yeah. I think Scarlet Witch, I mean, at best case scenario, the only thing I've really looked at outside of just painting her exactly like box art, but a different color, is maybe just doing the leggings black. Cause there was a couple, arcs and stuff where she was pretty much just wearing the standard Scarlet Witch uniform, but had black leggings and like a black I don't know what you'd call it, under the torso tunic
arm
corset
rings
thing. Yeah. Or just
I don't know.
Or just painting her like Wiccan.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I don't know. I like the idea of doing something else with her swirly magic-y stuff. I'm just not sure what. I think the model, the studio model of theirs looks great. Just for me, that's too much red. I don't know.
It is a lot.
I don't know how well I'd be able to paint it to be different from the pink, and then her red as well. And then she's got brown hair, so that's already kind of a red tone also.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll make her hair like black.
I'm at a complete loss for Quicksilver. Like, because it's just those two with that particular sculpt.
Yeah, there's really
blue. There's not a whole ton to draw from.
Because even if you looked at like Ultimate Quicksilver, he was just a different variation of blues.
Yeah. So I think probably same thing there. I think in Uncanny Avengers, he had some black kind of tones, like from elbow joint towards the palm was like black, but for the rest was kind of silver and blue.
Sounds familiar.
So I mean, it'll be subtle, but yeah, so did I. I really enjoyed
Rick
it.
Remender is really good.
He's one of the only writers where I can never remember his role in the comic, but I always remember his name.
His solo stuff is really good too, because I believe he's the one that does Low. He's in love with.
Yeah.
And I think he also did 7 to Eternity.
Okay.
Which the final issue is going to be coming out soon, which is only like 16 issues long, which is too bad.
Yeah.
I got pulled into that one because the artist on that, I think it's Jerome Opeña, is just gorgeous work.
He did some series that I really liked. Maybe it was Gore the God Butcher stuff, or maybe it was AVX. But there was one particular storyline that I remember. That's how I burned the name.
X-Force, probably.
Yes.
He had that fantastic X-Force
run
that kind of bled into Uncanny Avengers, and he wrapped a lot of stuff up. So good.
That's what it was. That was
the Apocalypse Twins.
With Fantomex, and Psylocke, Deadpool, Archangel, and Wolverine. Mm-hmm. One of probably the most tolerable comic, for me at least, that Wolverine has been in.
Because he wasn't like the main character there. He was one of the members of the team.
Correct.
And he focused a lot on Archangel and Fantomex and Psylocke.
Yeah.
Fantomex is just awesome. I love Fantomex.
That is
so much.
That is the comic that introduced me to and made me fall head over heels in love with Fantomex.
I think you already been killed at least once and brought back by then.
Probably. I remember getting into him and like, I was talking to the guy at work about how much I liked him. He's like, I don't know who the fuck that is. That's stupid. I was like, no,
he's so good.
He's so cool. You don't understand. He's got 3 nervous systems and one's a spaceship. And he's like, you're not making it any better. I was like, oh, man.
He wears ceramic plates on his face so he can't be mind probed.
Yeah.
Like, what?
And he was raised in the internet. Like, it's great.
He pretends he's French because why not?
Because it's fun.
I loved when he was first introduced. It was like, what is this character? He's so weird, but he was so cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what. I've always loved Fantomex, and he's just out there and oddball, and it's so great because he was created by Grant Morrison.
Oh, okay.
Also,
I did not know that at all.
During his run of it was New X-Men.
Right.
I think it was right before the Cassandra Nova stuff, or right after.
Oh.
But during that run, Grant Morrison's X-Men run. If you haven't read it, check it out. Oh, it's so good.
Hell yeah.
Fantastic. I think it was just called New X-Men, and then they changed it back to X-Men, known as Adjectiveless.
Oh.
In the community. Like just a few issues after he stopped and Chuck Austin took over, and Chuck Austin was trash.
Yeah, nowhere near as good as Terry Austin.
He's an inker, right?
He was an inker during the Dark Phoenix saga.
Oh, right.
Worked closely with Chris Claremont.
Classic.
Right?
I just saw there's an HBO special all about Chris Claremont.
Yeah, good.
I started playing it the other day, so it would be like on my continue watching queue.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I totally forget about it, so...
That's a really good
Maybe I'll watch that tomorrow when I take my mental health day.
There you go. Yeah, send her out.
That sounds like a good time.
So let's get into it. Let's get into...
Oh, yeah, what are we talking about here?
Scarlet Witch.
Don't get me started on comic stuff. I can just keep going. Super fair.
Here's the good news. I had the card up at no point in a way that I could.
Which one? So you want to talk about Scarlet Witch first? Because she came out first. She came out on time on Monday.
Yes.
Because the week before on a stream, Dallas was painting... Was it Sinister? He was painting somebody. And they kept saying in the chat, Atomic Mass Games, that Scarlet Witch was going to be revealed Monday. Quicksilver was going to be revealed Tuesday.
Yes.
Apparently they forgot Tuesday was Star Wars Day, so they had tons of Star Wars announcements, which was cool.
Right.
A bunch of stuff for Legion and X-Wing and Armada. But we didn't get Quicksilver, and I was kind of like, oh. But then he came out the next day, the next morning, and it was like, great.
This is going to be a very random off-topic aside.
We never do that on this show.
But as far as May the 4th.
Be with you.
One of my favorite tortilla brands, which I can only order online, Mr. Tortilla, which makes 15-calorie little mini tortillas out of oat flour.
Those are shockingly good, too.
Yes. They had a huge sale for May the 4th and not one for Cinco de Mayo the following day.
What? Why? That's amazing.
It was like pretty early in the morning on Cinco de Mayo, and I went over to the site and I was like, oh, they're probably running some deal or whatever. Maybe I'll pick up some stuff. And I was like, oh, they had a huge deal yesterday.
That's so
They had a Star Wars themed sale, but not a single, whatever. All right.
Okay.
But
my son Felix he loves tortillas. We have flour tortillas in the house right now, and he loves to just eat a tortilla.
Yeah.
Because he's almost 3. But he says, can I have a tortilla? He has this little pause there. I'm not sure why. A tortilla.
maybe the RAM in his brain, like the central processing system, just can't do like umlauts, and he thinks the dot above the I is an umlaut, and he just skips over it instead of trying to discern.
I don't know, but it's super cute. A tortilla.
But we got the card for Scarlet Witch,
and it's a doozy.
Oh my gosh, is it? So
get the boring stuff out of the way. What's on the top?
Yeah, 6 health, both sides, medium movement, size 2, 5 threat, 3/4/4 for defenses, which
solid.
Yes,
above
it is.
Solid.
Mm-hmm. It's better than She-Hulk.
At first, I was a little like, oh my God, she has 6 health on both sides and 3/4/4.
Yeah.
Then I was like, oh wait, she's 5 threat. That's actually below average.
Yes.
Below average for 5, or average for 5 threat is 14.
Mm-hmm.
Because the whole thing with Cable is that he's 1 below because he's like 6'7" or 7'6" or something like that.
Right.
So the fact that she's 6'6" is actually a little, because I was hoping she wouldn't be so defensive with all her other stuff.
Yeah.
But like she's got to have some kryptonite, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, and 3 in physical, the most common attack type. I mean, there is a very direct way to deal with her. Punch her.
Yep.
Yeah. She doesn't have that much health.
No, and yeah, so for 5 threat, 6'6" is okay. So she's not like a tank as well as an offensive powerhouse.
Right.
Thank goodness, because wow, she's already a steal for 5 points.
Well, and she actually mirrors Doctor Strange's defenses for the same threat. He's 3/4/4.
Oh, I thought you meant like when you said mirrors. I thought you meant like something was opposite.
Oh, gotcha. But let's start out with Hex Bolt. This is probably
this is her bread and butter right here. You don't. Who cares about Cruel Twist when you have Hex Bolt?
Right.
It's so good.
Cruel Twist
is still nice.
When you need to kill someone, they're dying.
Yeah.
To Cruel Twist, but Hex Bolt, range 4, strength 6, 0 power, standard builder, gains damage equal to the damage dealt.
Mystic
attack.
Strength 6 Mystic at range 4.
So one of the only things that's going to be able to bring down Crossbones
in one hit, in one roll.
In one roll is Hex Bolt.
I will say on the stream we saw they played with her, Alice and Will. She dropped Beast in one attack with this for on his healthy side. Yeah. Just boom, done. And then the next turn he was, he got back up and then she Cruel Twisted him and just two attacks, done.
That's overkill for Beast.
Especially because he only has 5 on his second side. Yeah. But still, like, but Will wanted to show it off because the whole point of that stream. Yeah. But like 2 attacks, Beast down.
But pretty standard for a 5-threat character having a 6 strength attack. Certainly nothing out of the ordinary there. Except for on a failure, she gets Chaos Magic, where not only does she count failures as successes in the roll, she also adds Bleed, Hex, Incinerate, or Poison for each failure she rolls in the roll.
So I didn't realize these were technically called failures.
I didn't either. We've called them skulls.
We've said skulls forever. But on that same stream, Will kept referring to it as failures, and I was like, "What?" Because to me, a blank is a failure, but it's not. It's a blank.
Yeah.
Just like a success for attack is a hit, and a success for defense is a block.
Yeah, I've recently started calling attack successes strikes, but hit would be
it's just a hit.
The way to say it.
But yeah, so this is for every skull. Not only is it a success, but she can give bleed, hex, incinerator, poison. That's so awesome. Bonkers. It's so good for you because you're going to roll at least one of those.
Oh yeah.
So
half my roll is going to be skull.
Start with incinerate every time because it's the best, and then probably for me hex, and then poison, then bleed because bleed almost never does anything.
Yeah, bleed is super situational. I like it in something like this where once I know how much damage is done, then I can choose whether I want it to be bleed or not because it happens after the attack is resolved. So that's super great.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that. The fact that it's after the attack was resolved, which I guess these usually are.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm going to hex you, I'm going to incinerate you, and then you roll for defense. Well, technically, you're supposed to do those rolls at the same time. But honestly, since we use the dice box, we don't.
If it was before damage is dealt, now granted, hopefully someone will correct me in the comments here, but if you did add the status effects before damage is dealt, would that be before your opponent rolls? I
don't think so, because technically, I think the rules are written that you roll at the same time. You both build your dice pools together, and then you both roll. But I was saying, but the way we do it on the stream, so we see the dice rolls that the attacker rolls, then the defender rolls in our case. But I think by the rules, you're supposed to do it at the same time. It doesn't really change anything, but it does speed up the game a little bit.
So in the situation where it could change something, so if the order of operations was in fact the attack, you both build your dice pools, the attacker rolls, the attacker finds out how much damage they deal, and then the defender finds out how much damage of that they block. That would potentially allow you to add in hex or incinerate before the opponent is rolling those dice.
That's and I think that's one reason why they did that, because that would be way too good.
They've been super smart about the timing of effects and making sure, because that little change is a massive difference to some of these status effects.
Oh, for sure.
Her other attack is Cruel Twist, only range 3, but strength 8 with a 6 power cost.
Yeah.
The huge part of this one is the defending character does not add critical results in its defense rolls to its total successes. Not only do they not explode, because they also do not explode as part of this, but they don't count as successes. That is stupid good.
Such a cruel twist.
It is.
Your crits don't even count as blanks, because some people can turn those into successes. They just count as nothing.
Yep.
Ugh.
Not only that, on a failure, change one of the defending characters' crits, wilds, or blocks to a blank. You are already not getting successes for crits, and your crits already do not explode.
Yeah.
You can now only roll 2 out of the 8-sided results as successes here.
Yeah.
And for every failure, you are nixing one of those. This is going to
not for every, because it just says change one, not for each failure. So you only get to change one opponent die, but still, when crits already don't matter.
Yeah.
So like you said, with 8 dice on this, if you want somebody dead, this is the way to do it. Like, ow.
So I am no longer nervous about She-Hulk anymore.
With Scarlet Witch?
With Scarlet Witch.
I mean, Scarlet Witch She-Hulk 6th threat. She should be able to beat Scarlet Witch 1-on-1.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if she would.
Right.
I mean, 1 threat difference is huge in this game, but I think Scarlet Witch has a better chance than any other 5 threat in taking down She-Hulk 1-on-1.
Being able to get Incinerate on her and then throwing a Cruel Twist is going to be awesome.
Gross. She can still throw stuff too. We'll get to in a second.
Yeah. But I'm super stoked. Everything about this character. Now, granted, this has caused a lot of attrition in our particular group chat. It's so much more than Cable did, I feel.
In the group chat?
Yeah. Chuck is not a fan of this.
Well, no, especially because you were super excited for Scarlet Witch. Regardless, we even knew anything about it.
Once she could have been straight dog shit, and I would have been like, yeah, fucking Scarlet Witch every game.
You were pumped. Then you heard she was 5 threat. You were more pumped because you're like, she's going to be awesome. And then as soon as you saw anything to do with failure rolls, you were like, she's my go-to.
It's literally, they made her for me. This is perfect. She's been crafted specifically for me to play.
It seems like it. I'm terrified. I don't want to play against her first when you have her.
Fair.
I want you to get that out before me. Let's get some of the boring stuff out of the way. She has telekinesis, a 3-power throw.
But size 4.
But only, size 4, but only terrain. She can't throw people.
Yep.
Within 3 of her and throw it medium. Super good.
Super good.
She can't throw characters, but still to be range 3 is huge.
Yeah.
And then up to size 4, she can throw big old buildings up to medium.
Yeah.
Like it's a really good throw.
Who cares about Black Dwarf being on the field when you can just throw a building the size of Black Dwarf at someone? Love it.
Solid. I mean, it's a typical 3, but I think it's a little bit better than other. I think it's one of those, they try to balance that if you can't throw characters, it tends to have a longer range to reach things.
Yes.
Or bigger size that you can throw. It seems to be
perfectly
how
balanced.
that works.
I like that a lot.
Just imagine holding a little knife on your finger, perfectly balanced.
As all things.
Then we have Curse, which is really cool.
This was a surprise to me.
Yes, for sure. I didn't expect this one at all. But between Curse and Telekinesis, I don't think you're going to see Cruel Twist that often because these are so good. But Curse is 2 power, reactive. Telekinesis is active, obviously. When this character is damaged by an enemy effect, after the effect is resolved, you may use this superpower. The attacking character gains the Judgment special condition. Judgment, Tim. Judgment. She can give judgment. We haven't seen this since Ronin.
This pushed her so far over the top for me.
You called Ronin? Right? Just what? Judgment's brutal. For those of you that aren't totally aware, because it's only on one character so far, Judgment, if you have that condition on, you do not gain power from damage suffered from enemy effects. It might, let me double check that exact. It might be from attacks specifically.
Right.
I think
that's
might
actually, yep, that's a good.
You talk while I double check that. I want to make sure I'm saying that right.
Once again, so Curse putting Judgment on someone and Cruel Twist. Now, granted, you can only apply the Judgment if she herself is being damaged by an enemy effect.
It is slightly more limiting than Ronin's. Yes.
So you are not there. This is not an expectation because as Wargaming Dad might say, if you are putting Judgment on people with Scarlet Witch, then you are too close to those people.
I don't think Scarlet Witch, it's not Toad. She's not that worried.
Right.
I mean, it's still, no, she doesn't have a range on it.
There's no range on it.
And I just double checked. Judgment is when suffering damage from enemy attacks, not effects.
All right.
Which is still really good.
Telekinesis can still put power on She-Hulk.
Oh, no.
Cruel Twist would not.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's so brutal. Not only am I hitting you with 8 dice that crits don't count, and if I roll a skull, you get 1 fewer die there. And
chances are to have enough power to even use it in the first place, I've already put Incinerate on you. So you're rolling 2 defense dice with only wilds and blocks able to do anything, and I'm going to kill one of them because I've rolled 8 skulls.
Chances are she'll be injured by the time she has a big play like that because that's 8 power to do.
It is.
To have done Curse.
Yep.
Or it could have been you did Curse earlier because she has her Hex field. If you're within 3 of her, you cannot shake Hex, Judgment, or Poison.
Yes. So you can still shake the Incinerate.
Which is interesting that it's all but that one that she can put on people that they got. I guess because Incinerate, you can just pat yourself down. And the others are more mystical.
And
Bleed, you can't.
The Poison one seems odd. Judgment and Hex being kind of like luck manipulations makes sense there if they were only going to limit it to certain conditions. I don't know why Poison's on there. It doesn't fit with that theme.
Maybe it
just seems random.
Yeah, I don't know.
Everyone's immune to poison anyway. Who cares?
Yeah, right.
Like,
it is often.
But that said, the kind of
so good.
Chosen of Cthon is kind of the thing that really makes this character.
Almost breaks her as a 5. Because of this innate power, I feel a little bit like Chuck saying she almost feels like a 6. She's definitely a high level 5.
Yes,
for sure.
But like other 5s, this kind of comes into play with some type of effect that makes her not guaranteed, but significantly tougher to take down. She doesn't have a 6 in Mystic that she can, switch to other stats or an invulnerability or heal. This is kind of it. This is the big defense play because even with 3/4/4, you can still just punch her to death pretty quick.
I feel like ironically, this makes her more reliable, even though she wields chaos magic. To me, that's just kind of funny.
Yes. So on failures for attacking, defending, or dodging, the dodge part is huge.
That is massive.
Because she once
like
again
her thighs.
only 3 physical defense, so throws are another way to get at her. She adds failures in its roll to its total successes.
She loves rolling skulls.
Not one, all.
Yeah.
Flat. Just add it to successes. It's there.
Adds failure results in its rolls to total successes.
Those 2 times a night on the power phase when I roll literally just blanks and skulls. Now I'm at a 50% success rate.
Hey, that yeah, it's so good. And then she has flight, which is sure, yeah, makes sense. Yeah. Good. Flight is good. I'm
gonna break her, by the way, just in general.
Her model?
Oh yeah.
Just careful with those gorilla hands.
Right. Sometimes I do it intentionally. I'm the same thing I did to Storm. I'm gonna do to her. I'm gonna break that little wispy bit directly under her that really cements around to that base.
Because it looks like it's gonna attach at her feet and then maybe at the edge of her cape. I think that'll be about it. It looks like, or maybe her one hand. It's definitely not her right hand. Maybe her left hand. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to double check the site, see if we have a gallery for her model yet, if we have a 360 view.
Yeah.
Because she's definitely going to be a sub-assembly paint job.
Mm-hmm.
Paint her and the swirly bits separate and then glue her together.
On her character card, too, just we've made only light reference to this so far. Her thighs and legs are Hulk arms.
Oh my God, they're gigantic. Her model, we were just saying before we started recording, her model is very well proportioned with that. It looks like a normal human being, but her thighs on her card art are massive.
And look at the joint around her knee on her injured side. That looks like robot legs.
Is just so jacked.
She's stacked. I mean, she's going to carry my team.
Oh, for sure.
So I'm all about this. I'm so pumped for this character. I'm so excited that this came out. At this point, I don't even care if we get Iceman. I'm set.
You shut your damn mouth.
I'm just kidding. We still need Wiccan.
I wasn't gonna bring it up this time. So we do have a 360 gallery for this box on the site. Her definitely by her right foot, and I think her right hand, her right wrist is attached to her Hex Bolt ring there. I can't tell if the cape is or not. It might be a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe even the tip of her hair. That looks like it attaches. So it looks like 3 or 4 points of connection there, which is still it's not a lot.
It's not.
Oh, and it looks like another spot on her cape. So maybe a few.
But
they're all real small.
Too. Yeah.
Quicksilver, he's on a rock.
A tactical exploding rock.
Yeah.
Not just any rock.
He looks cool. But yeah, Scarlet Witch looks like a powerhouse.
Yeah.
She's going to be brutal to deal with.
Now, currently, once again, and I think we talk about this every week, we only know for certain that she's on Brotherhood.
At this point, that's the only one she's on, I'm pretty sure.
But we're expecting potentially Avengers and also A-Force.
I don't know enough about A-Force, I'm going to assume. But she's often seen as a bad guy, so maybe not.
True. Yep. She's used as a negative. Her name is used as a negative. I think noun. Maybe it's an adjective. In the current series on Krakoa.
Yeah, she's
you're kind of being a Wanda.
The enemy.
Yeah. Fair. I mean, she wiped.
Exodus has these little sermon almost like seances out in the woods of Krakoa with young mutants, like kids, and he sermonizes about how evil Wanda is.
Makes her like a boogeyman.
The enemy, yeah. And they talk about the Patchwork Man, who that takes kids away at night if they're not good and stuff like that, and it's super creepy. It was really cool. I think that was in the
low-key talking about Sinister.
No. They revealed who it was, and now I can't remember. I just read it last week. I think it was in the newest episode issue.
Fabian Cortez or something like that.
No. He's actually he's with Sword.
Oh,
he's back, and it's really funny when he interacts with Magneto because Magneto's just ew.
Yeah.
But the Patchwork Man, the kids talk about it like a boogeyman, and it's really cool. And it's super obvious once they revealed who it was. Now I can't remember. I'm gonna have to look that up real quick while we're talking. Yeah, at this point they are not on. She's not on A-Force. Oh no, she is. Never mind.
Oh,
she is on A-Force.
Okay,
there it is.
Great.
She's not on.
You heard it here first.
Avengers.
She is on Avengers?
Neither of them are on Avengers right now.
Okay.
But Scarlet Witch is on A-Force, and they're both definitely on Brotherhood. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't get added to X-Men, just because they're obviously associated with X-Men, but I don't know if either of them have actually been members of the X-Men over the years.
Yeah.
They've always kind of been on the fringes.
Yep.
So, but yeah, she's an A-Force. Shit. Were we talking last time about like that super brutal 3-member combo with like She-Hulk, Angela, and Scarlet Witch, and just make your opponent cry?
Yeah,
because it's just so powerful. Like, who cares about objectives? You're just gonna wreck face with those 3.
That's the thing is, it's still not guaranteed. Even with those badass fucking ballers, points would just be too easy to outmaneuver. I feel like.
I think with that team, you could try to play for tabling and have a decent chance.
Yep.
Because that's 16 points.
Yes.
So average 17, 18 points, you might, you wouldn't want to play 17, of course, because none of them are gem bearers. But if you play 18, then you could throw somebody like 2-point Black Widow in there to help grab objectives, or just go for the KO and just destroy, because those 3 would.
Yeah.
That sounds terrifying.
So the other card we got this week was Quicksilver. Also another character I am super excited for, and looks like he will be on a lot of teams. He is going to be a mainstay, I think, on any affiliation.
Sorry. I just remembered who the Patchwork Man was by looking it up. And it was in the first issue of the new Way of X.
Yes.
Which follows Nightcrawler.
Has an awesome team. Pixie and Blink and
somebody else I didn't know.
Loa?
That sounds right. I'm not sure who she is, but she seems kind of cool. And they like see death as a joke, and like they have to, like, that's like a rite of passage now among the younger X-Men to die in battle and be resurrected. So like at one point, I think it was Pixie just like walks up to a guy and he blasts her in the face with a shotgun, and they're like, "Yeah, she did it." And Nightcrawler's like, "What are you doing?" Patchwork Man. It was one of those. Once they revealed him, I was like, "How did I not guess this?" Legion.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense,
right?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, that's so cool. Like he's like the boogeyman now, which is like, okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Good. All right, Quicksilver card. Sorry, got distracted there. Love it.
Yes,
love it.
So boring stuff out of the way first. 5 health, both sides, long movement, size 2, 3 threat, 3/3/3. Super basic. And wall crawler.
Being 3 threat, totally expected. We kind of guessed he was going to have average defenses.
Yep.
Average health makes sense as well. 5/5, I think, is 1 below average for a 3 threat.
Yeah.
I think they typically have 11. But I think it's fine for him. Yeah. This might be a hot take. I don't know. I'm more excited for the Quicksilver card for Quicksilver than Scarlet Witch, just because he's 3 threat. I'm going to be able to field him more often.
Yep. And
I just love how he plays. That long move is great. And then he's so mobile on top of that.
Yeah.
Not just the long move, but his strike, supersonic strike.
Yes.
We had guessed range 3. I think we had predicted that last week. Strength 4, again predicted.
Yep.
It's his builder, so every damage dealt, he gains a power. Really interesting. If he rolls a crit and a block,
yes,
he gets dash and he can advance short.
Mm-hmm.
And then if he gets a wild and a hit, he gets velocity. After this attack is resolved, this character may make a supersonic strike attack. This attack may not target the original character. So he can zip around and move, like ping pong around.
Yeah.
Or
yeah, pinball.
Pinball is the one I was looking for. Thank you. And ping pong kind of works too, but pinball is what I was thinking. And move and attack. On the stream, Schick said he can do this indefinitely. There's no cap to it if there's enough characters, obviously. So, but to do both of those things, you have to roll a crit, a block, a wild, and a hit with a 4 strength attack.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to be lucky if you get one of these off, really?
Yeah.
I think I saw somebody did the math on one of the Facebook groups the other day, and it's like a 9% chance to get, I think, dash, and a little bit higher for velocity because I think there's more hits.
Yes.
Something like that.
Yeah, there's 2 hits. There's only 1 block.
Right. So super cool. I love this. This is so neat. I love that there's something so like, oh no, I rolled a block on attack.
Right.
But it actually could do something for you here.
Right.
I love it.
So the way I'm reading this, could you eventually end up attacking the initial character? Because you get another supersonic.
Oh, it specifies this attack may not target the original target character.
Right.
So you could attack anybody else multiple times except for that first one.
Wow. Wow.
If you could
being
roll
able to move and have it be range 3.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
the
you
fact
get
that
to
it's range
choose the order
3.
at which the dash and the velocity happen.
Yep.
This is
Super
awesome.
Cool.
Super cool.
Anything that can add dice to him.
Yeah.
Except for hammers, he wants. Real bad.
I'm super excited because I feel the Quicksilver will probably not go a week without being on the table for us.
He's going to have his time in the sun for sure.
Yes. I mean,
he'll be the new She-Hulk for us.
Yeah.
For everybody but Tim.
Right.
I don't think you've used her yet.
I did use her not to good effect in any way, shape, or form in the Ultron Ultimate.
Oh, right. That one hardly counts, though, because you lost 3 times in one game.
Right. Yeah. 2 of those were in the first 8 minutes. So.
But no, this is super. I just love how different this attack is, and it will feel really different on the table. Just moving short after attacking is cool. Just adding more movement to him, like, holy crap.
Yep.
The velocity is really nice just to make more attacks. When we were talking about this one last week, we predicted strength 4 because we figured that strength 5 or more, which is too much if you're able to make multiple attacks.
We knew from the panel to play that it was going to be an uncapped, indefinite amount of attacks. So there was no way, I felt like, for a 3-threat character that they could have given him it at a strength 5.
And if you look at anything in the comics, Quicksilver never hits really hard. He used a bunch of little punches. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. I think it encapsulates the character perfectly.
It's super good.
He could,
they did a
if
nice
he
job.
didn't have another attack, I'd still be fine with it.
I was honestly a little surprised he did have another. He does have another attack. His cyclonic vortex, which is almost as fun to say as Berserker Barrage.
I think it's pronounced cyclonic.
Cyclonic.
Cyclonic. It's like you get like a tube and it pulls all your poop out like a cyclonic.
Oh, yeah. Like Blunt Man and Cyclonic Vortex?
Yes. Yep.
So this is another range 3, which is, so both of his attacks are range 3. Sweet. Strength 6. All right. 2 power. Okay. Spender, that's only 2 power. I'll take it.
It's only strength 6, though. That seems fair.
And then after the attack is resolved, he may advance medium. So both of his attacks add more movement. Yep. Well, one can, but this one definitely does.
Yes.
For only 2 power, like just spending 2 power to advance medium is almost worth it.
Yep.
Super good. I like Cyclonic Vortex a lot. I love how none of his stuff is terribly expensive. Yeah. Power wise.
Yep. Which it is going to be difficult to get power on him. I almost had kind of hoped that Supersonic Strike was going to be after this attack is resolved, you gain 1 power versus damage done.
Yeah.
It might be difficult to get power on this guy.
He's going to love being an A-Force or Inhumans. Shamelessly stealing that. I read Across the Bifrost, like initial impressions of that. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Anything that can just give him more power.
Yep.
For sure.
Cabal.
The main thing he's going to be spending power on, though, is not this attack. Probably.
It is not.
Is Speedster.
It is Speedster.
Which we all know about. They talked about it on the stream. We found out for sure the next stream that it cost 2, or maybe it was that one, that it cost 2, that if he's not holding an objective token, I called it last week.
Yeah.
I read it and I was like, yeah, nailed it. If he's not holding an objective token, he advances long. The superpower can be used only once per turn. Sweet. So it is just like, I think Hell on Wheels doesn't have the objective thing, but I think that costs 3.
1 more. Yep.
Plus he's on a large base, so that kind of makes sense. But Speedster's super good. I love this. 2 power to move another long.
Yeah.
So like the idea, he can move long, Speedster, grab an objective, and then move long away. Like, okay, this sounds like Quicksilver. He's so fast. Like he makes Angela look slow potentially.
Yeah. Legitimately.
Well, somewhat. She has a long move too, right? With a medium base.
Yeah.
So she might be a little faster here and there, but everything he does moves him. It's so cool.
I like it a lot. I think you're going to see a lot of play him on Avengers.
Yeah.
Just first round being able to get 3 long movements.
Yeah. 1 power long move. Okay.
I mean, so here's what I'm excited about.
What are you excited about?
I'm excited for that with things like Asteroid M. Being able to get some power on him, get him, slingshot him across the board, and then teleport Magneto over to the middle of your enemy's deployment zone.
Oof.
When Blob or Juggernaut comes out doing the same thing.
I got to look up Asteroid M really quick because I don't remember. 2 Brotherhood mutant characters may both spend 2 power each to play this card. Place one of the two characters not holding an objective token within one of the other character. Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, gross. So Quicksilver just gets behind the lines and then Magneto's there too. And you're just like big middle finger to your opponent. Like, now you got to deal with Magneto. Right?
Hey, guess what? Guess who's here? My dad owns a dealership. He's on his way.
Who the fuck is that? Magneto. What? All right, yeah, that's gross. Oh, I'd love to see that. I can't wait for Blob.
Being able to put Scarlet Witch in position, be able to turret things down, just plop her right on the the middle or far gamma shelter.
Yeah,
and become king of the hill.
Yeah, that is. Wow. Okay, I totally forgot about Asteroid M. That's a huge play with Quicksilver. Wow, that's really good.
Yep,
I'm like blown away by that and terrified.
He also has the equivalent of Trickster. For 3, it's called Can't Catch Me, a reactive, in which when he's targeted by an attack, he may use the superpower. He can advance short if at the end of this character's movement, they're outside of the attack range. The attack ends.
And I think
they retain the action, but
if the attacker's activation and the attack did not target multiple characters, they can make another action.
Yes.
So, like, if it's an area effect, he can get out of there, but the rest of it still happens, which
or
makes
counters.
Perfect sense.
That makes him great against someone like Sabretooth.
Oh,
that might spend that power to attack back. If you want to spend one more power to waste that attack on him, you absolutely can.
But it costs 3, which is where he starts to get a little power hungry, because having that and Speedster, you're not going to be able to do that every turn.
You are not going to be able to reliably Can't Catch Me.
But he does have some natural defenses built in with his supersonic reflexes.
Mm-hmm.
He essentially has spider sense, where if he's defending against physical or energy, he can, or making a dodge roll, which makes sense, it may reroll up to 2 of its defense or dodge dice.
Yeah.
So he's got 3, but he's going to be re-rolling 1 or 2 of those most of the time.
Yes. Obviously,
yes.
If you're looking for ways to shut him down, slow goes a hell of a long way, because it even takes down Speedster because it is an advance.
Slow is the worst. Would be. I wish he was immune to slow just because. But yeah, putting slow on Quicksilver is just like, well, he's useless now.
Right.
Because really, outside of that, he's not.
He's great. Not. Yeah. No.
Like, he's not. He doesn't hit that hard.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if he's slowed and he's already behind enemy lines and he's got some power for Cyclonic Vortex, like,
I guess
it could be decent.
Yeah.
Like 6 dice is still 6 dice against the right opponent.
It's very similar. I don't know if it's range 3 on Baron Zemo, but it's pretty much the same attack. It costs 2, strength 6. I think Zemo's is range 2, yeah. But he gets a medium movement afterwards.
I can't. There it is. Steel Rush. Yep. Range 3, strength 6, power 2. He moves medium. Then he also has a Wild Bleed. So it's exactly the same except Wild Bleed. Yep.
But this character's going to get so much play.
Yeah. I'm really excited for this one.
I'm somewhat excited to see maybe someone like Hawkeye creep into the meta a little bit more to
MVP
counter your Quicksilver that you're going to face in every match.
Because he can throw slow on relatively easily.
Very, very easy, I feel. And range 5 and hook arrow
should
make sure
be
that
easy,
you
but
should be able to get in range to do it.
I never seem to get that to work. Whenever I roll with Hawkeye, he never, even with 5 dice, he doesn't roll that stupid wild for me.
This past week on, the power phase, I forget who it was. All I wanted was wilds. And I could only roll. I was rolling really well.
It was when you faced me with your sap list. All you wanted was sap, even though that one when you rolled 6 out of 5 hits.
Yeah.
But you didn't get a wild, and you were complaining, even though you dazed Storm anyway.
Right, but I wanted her power, Dan.
It was like, quit your bitch, and you took her out anyway.
The whole point is to drain her before I daze her, so she doesn't, come back with enough power to do exactly what you did, which was hurricanes and blizzards and all sorts of other, and throwing people.
Yeah, you gave her a bunch of power.
Yeah, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to.
You were just so upset that you didn't roll 1 wild to reduce her power by 1.
Yes.
Probably wouldn't have mattered.
That was mine. I laid claim to it.
She earned that power.
Listen. Accurate.
Listen, Linda. But this box I think other than Sinister's model, which I'm in love with, I think this box is I've been looking forward to most outside of Cable Domino because I just really want the Cable model.
This very realistically should be one of probably the most important boxes to get if you are getting into this game. Not only do you get an absolute devastating force of Scarlet Witch, you get probably someone you can throw into literally any affiliation list of Quicksilver,
and he'll do well.
Yeah,
because who can't use a 3-threat long move with more?
I don't think there's a bad affiliation for him. I think him being cheaper makes him useful for Black Order, Criminal Syndicate. Having someone with that movement count as 2 in securing objectives. Avengers just makes him faster, quicker. Cabal gives him the power to be able to do his stuff. Like,
I mean, even Spider Foes.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they have a long move right now.
They do not.
At least what's available currently.
I'm sure Kraven will probably end up being a long movement.
I hope so.
But, yeah.
Just making sure Carnage isn't. He's not. He's medium, I figured. But just double checking real quick.
I guess the only place he doesn't really super fit in is Web Warriors. They already have a bunch of long movements. They already give rerolls.
Only because they kind of already fill that. They already have characters that do what he does, but I think he might do those things better. If you're looking just for what he does. Like, he's very similar to Miles in a lot of ways, but Miles hits a lot harder.
Yeah.
And can be a leader.
I guess when you're attacking someone that has objectives with Web Warriors, being able to get those dashes and velocities off will be a little bit easier when you can reroll skulls and stuff.
I'm definitely going to play a Web Warriors list with nothing but long move at some point.
Yeah.
So like, even wait till Amazing Spider-Man comes out and do Amazing and Miles. No, he's medium. Never mind. Gwen.
It's just those 2.
What?
Peter Parker and Gwen.
Yeah, I was thinking Miles was too, but never mind, he's not.
Yeah. Damn. Sorry.
I love doing silly, fun theme list things.
Same.
So like, is there an affiliation where you could play all long move? But I can't think of any other leaders that have a long move besides Amazing Spider-Man.
Mystique.
Oh yeah. Oh, you could do it Brotherhood because Mystique, Sabretooth, Quicksilver himself.
And then you there's your 3. Then you throw in up to 2 other long movements. Throw in a Black
Angela
and an Angela. I mean, you have a lot of options. Thankfully, you got 2s because you got Black Widow at long movement. What other 3s have long movement?
Proxima.
Oh, Proxima. I always forget about her.
I'm thinking about playing Black Order next week. So I guess yesterday.
3. Yeah.
Other 3s that have long move, Brandon Zemo. I can't think. But then at 4, we got Gamora.
Yeah, Gamora.
Spider-Man. This is like a test.
Yeah.
Crystal 3.
Yes. Moving on.
I imagine people watching this are just shouting other names we're not thinking of, but sorry to just bring everything to a screeching halt there.
Did Domino end up getting long movement?
No. Remember, I was upset because that's all I wanted from her was to be another 2-point with long move.
Yeah.
Because they only have 2. Black Widow and Nebula, right? Is Nebula long?
Yes. Yep. Nebula's long.
Nebula.
She's a long donger. Nebula's a great character. I like her a lot. I was taking her in almost every list though, so I had to stop.
You were taking her a lot. I have a hard time making her work.
You need other people to be able. So like, I think when you grab long movement characters, their role is kind of objective. Getting.
Nabbing.
Yeah. And obviously she can't do that. So you just need to have someone else doing that for you so she can counter and head over to the other places.
Right. Because she just wants to beat up people that have objectives or are on objectives, which.
Yep. I don't mind throwing her at the big powerhouse too. Getting some shock on there, putting some damage on, being able to heal some chip damage if she gets it and go from there.
There's a time I used her recently that it just didn't work out for her at all. I think she ended up going, I think you put Hulk against her.
Her and
Nebula.
And Proxima.
Or yeah, she is Nebula with Proxima. That was my idea, was that Proxima could hold it because she's got like invulnerability and whatnot, and then Nebula could kind of defend her. And then it was the Hulk, and it was like, never mind, they're done.
Those are two characters I do feel are a little underappreciated, is Proxima and Drax, both 3-threat characters with a lot of abilities and invulnerability. I
haven't used Drax in forever, but he was one of my favorites for a while. Drax and Hawkeye were like top tier for me for a long time. They're solid. They do what they should all the time.
Yeah, when Hawkeye came out, he was certainly every week.
I mean, just on the channel, he was in every game for him and Venom were used all the time just because we all really like Venom.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm super stoked. This is a super great box. I'm excited for both of these potentially in X-Force too, being able to reroll die.
Yeah.
I mean, there's pretty good. Only blanks are not counting as successes. Well, I guess and blocks, I suppose, for Scarlet Witch attacks. But being able to re-roll that one block or one blank you roll in a sea of skulls.
I just can't wait for you to roll something for Scarlet Witch and not get any skulls and just be like, oh, now I do that?
Oh, great. Oh, cool. I guess I'm not a failure anymore.
But it's all blanks and blocks instead.
Yeah.
But we don't have too much more in the way of news.
No.
I mean, we know. So in the US,
yes,
we should have Cable, Domino, Deadpool, Bob, Luke, Cage, and Iron Fist in June.
Yes.
Should. We'll cross our fingers, say hopefully.
Yeah.
Then it looks like July is probably going to be Amazing Spider-Man, Black Cat, Lizard, Kraven, Carnage, Mysterio.
Yeah. For Hot Spider-Man Summer.
I like that. So let's make our wild, probably completely wrong predictions for August. What do we got left?
August. You might be surprised to hear this, but Fantomex and Psylocke's box.
Not Psylocke and Archangel?
Nope, because Archangel is going to be paired with Colossus. And Jubilee and Beak. You heard it here first. When August rolls around.
Jubilee and Beak. I love Beak. Does he have his titanium bat?
He absolutely has his titanium bat.
Sweet. Does he? Is there like a almost dead beast on his base?
Yes.
Cassandra Nova takes over Beak's mind and he just beats the shit out of Beast.
Oh, Jesus. That's awesome.
Yeah. So like Beast is in his lab and Beak was all hurt because he's Beak and he's useless.
Yeah.
And Cassandra Nova takes over Beak and he picks up this titanium bat that Beak has just as like a thing. That's because he likes baseball. And he just like sneaks up on Beast and just wails on him with this bat. And Beast is just like, what are you doing? And like he doesn't try to like fight him back. So like Beak is, equivalent of putting you in the hospital.
Wow.
Like, he just wrecks Beast.
Shout out to that kid we went into high school with that beat another high schooler to hospitalization with a bat.
I don't remember
in the locker room. You know who you are.
That's quite the shout out.
Yeah.
So I think that's when we're going to see Sam Wilson, Captain America, War Machine box.
So
we're assuming they're together at least.
Yeah, they're going to be. Oh, so we're assuming that. I'm sorry, July was all the Spider-Man stuff.
I think that's the only thing we know about at this point.
Falcon in July is.
I mean, that would make sense, but I don't think they haven't really been doing releases like that so far.
Well, they don't release anything in the US, so why would they? Why would they base it over here?
It's pretty true. For a US based company too.
Yeah.
Because like Canada has Cable and Cable Domino, like all the ones that we should get next month. They already have in Canada. Mm-hmm. We've seen pictures of them in stores. Like I can't sell it till Friday, but here it is. Like I'm trying real hard not to like buy it off of eBay from Canada because I really want Cable.
Yeah.
But I need some patience.
Who the fuck is that?
Nathan Summers.
Oh, yeah.
So I think July will have Sam Wilson, Captain America, and War Machine in a box. And then I don't think the only things we know about are Juggernaut, Colossus. I could see being a box. Not yet, but
do you think? I don't think they'd be. They're solos.
You think both are solos?
Yeah. I don't want that to be the case.
But I want Colossus and Nightcrawler because they're like best friends.
So I almost expect. So if Colossus is with anyone, I almost assume it would be Shadowcat.
I'd be totally fine with that. Is it Kitty Pryde with Lockheed?
Mm-mm.
No, just is it Kitty Pryde? Is it Kate Pryde?
If we get a one threat Lockheed. That'd be
all he does is he has flight and he has a fire breath attack.
Yeah.
I would take that every game. I love Lockheed. He's so great. I was so sad when I thought he was dead recently.
Yeah.
Marauders and Sebastian Shaw tried to kill him.
That guy's awesome.
Kitty has him. She like took out his eye and put him in a wheelchair. She messed him
Lockheed?
up. No, Sebastian Shaw.
Oh, I was going to say that's super rude.
Yeah, they like depowered him somehow or something, and they basically tortured him. It's kind of messed up.
As you do.
She goes by Kate now, which is dumb.
Yeah, there's a lot of other Kates.
But I would love to see Colossus Kitty box for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Or Colossus Nightcrawler, just because fucking Nightcrawler. Yes, I want Nightcrawler real bad.
Mm-hmm.
Iceman, and I don't give a fuck who else.
Right. Right.
Just want Iceman.
Maybe Omega Red is paired up with a hero. Maybe
Omega Red and Colossus, because they're both Russian.
That makes sense.
We could just, stereotype it up.
I mean, it fits.
Yeah. You know? It's interesting that to me that Omega Red's not so much a Colossus villain. He is here and there, but he's way more of a Wolverine villain.
Yeah.
I mean, he's an X-Men villain, but you know what I mean.
Yep.
But I would love to see that. I forgot we know about Omega Red. So Omega Red Colossus, yes, 100% want that box.
What if we do get a Weapon X affiliation and we get X-23 and Fantomex, could potentially throw Deadpool in there, I guess. And
Honey Badger.
And Honey Badger.
I guess she goes by Scout now, which is
that's nowhere near as awesome as the name is.
Yeah.
Throwing Ajax, everyone's favorite.
Nobody knows who Ajax is.
Right, fair.
It's Fantomex. A Fantomex.
Deathlock?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Okay.
Captain America.
Fair.
He's Weapon 1.
Yep.
Pretty sure. But yeah, I would love to see a Weapon X affiliation. That'd be super cool.
Who's
Maverick? Yeah. I've always loved Maverick. I don't know. He's so 90s, but he's so great. He just came back in the Wolverine comics and he's awesome.
He's the guy that can see like 3 seconds of the future, right?
I don't know. I think so. That sounds right.
Yeah.
He has that like kind of Judge Dredd mask that covers everything but his mouth.
Yeah, I remember the 95 X-Men flare card of him. Looked super rad.
Right. He just had a cool design.
Yeah.
I think he has a healing factor too.
Who is the teleporting cowboy?
Wraith?
Yeah.
From the X-Men Origins Wolverine movie?
Yeah.
That we don't speak of?
Was that, I assumed he was a real character. Was he not?
I think he is around here and there, but he's not anything like he was in that movie.
Oh, okay.
Because they made him Nightcrawler's dad in that movie, and Nightcrawler's dad is Azazel.
Did they really?
Yeah. That was in the video game. That was better than the movie.
Yeah. Huh.
I actually really like that game. I think it was on like the PS3.
Yeah.
It was a solid action platformer.
I've heard it was
better than the movie. You fight a lava monster as the first boss. It's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I mean, the fights against Sabretooth sucked, but everything else was great.
Well, yeah, that's super fair.
So my brother ruined my save file and I had to start over.
Oh, Sabretooth as Wolverine's brother ruined the save file.
Get out of my house. The closest I've ever gotten to walking out of a movie was the first 2 minutes of that dog shit movie. Where they were like, it's his brother. And I was like, I'm done. And Daniel's like, no, you paid for this. And I was like, fine. I'm not going to like it, though. And I didn't.
So hard that Deadpool was going to be in that.
Everything about that movie looks so good until you actually watched it. The trailers were fantastic.
Even the first 5-10 minutes was solid. Like, really good. You get some Wade Wilson banter. Everyone's kind of,
Okay, that part, yes. Until they started with the flashbacks of him as a kid and said Sabretooth was his brother.
Yeah.
But yeah, that part... when he was like with the Weapon X team was pretty cool. There was some decent action stuff in that movie, but in terms of the story, it was just such a slap in the face to the comic fans that it was like, okay, I don't expect everything to be exactly the same, but at least try. Don't just make up everything new. Nobody wants that.
I forgot that the movie The Wolverine came out at all.
I like
it had completely escaped my memory as a whole until I think just a few weeks ago.
I remember you saying something about that in some group chat. You're like, oh, I forgot that movie existed.
Yeah. Well, because we had just done the Sin and Viper episode of this.
Oh yeah,
this
we're
show.
talking about Viper.
And I was like, wasn't Madam Hydra or Viper or something in one of the movies? And I was like, that wasn't Wolverine Origins that he went to Japan and fought Silver Samurai and stuff, was it? I was like, no way. No, it couldn't have been. I was like, there's another Wolverine movie?
I always thought that one was solid. It drove me crazy. My sister-in-law loved Wolverine or X-Men Origins Wolverine, and she hated the Wolverine. And I was like, you have that backwards.
Yeah.
Like, the Wolverine is a pretty good movie. It's not great.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was like top tier until Logan came out and just blew everything out of the water.
As far as Wolverine exclusive movies go, yeah, absolutely.
Logan is so good.
Logan was real good.
Yeah. Did you ever watch the black and white version?
No.
So unlike I think I have it on Blu-ray or whatever. There's another disc, or maybe it's just an option to watch it in black and white.
Okay.
It's actually really cool.
I don't purchase movies.
Right. And that might have been one of the last ones I ever got.
The last movie I bought was purchased, not bought, because bought's not a word, right?
Yeah. Yes, bought is a word.
Oh. Never mind.
Sometimes you say boughten.
Yeah.
A case about it.
I do. I am super uneducated, just as a rule. But This Is the End, I think, is the last Blu-ray I bought, and I bought it I pre-ordered it. That movie was so good.
I love that movie. It's so stupid and great.
Yeah.
Oh, that was not. It was one of those that I was pleasantly surprised at how good it was. Like, I went into it expecting to enjoy it because I like that group of actors and everything. But like, I was like, wow, this is actually way better than I thought it was. The Emma Watson scene.
Yes.
where they're trying not to freak her out and they just completely freak her out. Oh my gosh.
Michael Cera
Danny McBride is so good in that.
Michael Cera in the beginning just being an absolute douchebag and then being impaled on a streetlight.
I'm not usually a huge fan of just wanton death like that, but it was just done such black humor.
Yeah. Paul Rudd just smashing some dude's skull, like bumbling around like he is just.
I haven't seen it since theaters, but I would watch that again. I need to find that somewhere. That was a great one.
Some of the best Jonah Hill scenes. I regularly.
Oh my God, he's possessed.
Regularly use the gif of him being like, "That was a great reference. You're great at references." Everyone says.
Oh, it's not anywhere free right now. You have to get it on like Amazon Prime Video and you gotta rent it.
That's where I bought it, actually. I bought it both on Amazon Prime Video and I have a physical Blu-ray copy of it.
Wow, you're dedicated.
There was a time, as most, maybe it's just me, but ever since having kids and a family, no disc is in the box that it should be in.
Ugh.
So at one point I reached for that movie to show someone. Because usually the only time I'll watch movies a second time is if I'm showing someone else as their first time. Reached for This Is the End. It wasn't in there. And I was like, listen, it's good enough. I'll just buy it again. Signed on Amazon.
I'm not going to bother looking through all these cases.
No.
That's one thing that drives me absolutely insane. Like if Lily, my daughter, will take it something, I would ask her to take it out or whatever, and she puts it in a different box. Yep. I won't say I'll lose my shit, but I'll be like, Lily, what are you? No, you need to move these back right now. And she's like, okay. I'm like, no, it's got a picture. You gotta put the right disc in the right box.
This might be a little too real.
Uh-oh. This is an Elite 8.
I was about to say, I know this is an Elite 8 showdown, but my brother would constantly steal my CDs and DVDs and stuff and would leave them all over the place and they'd get scratched. So I am now not terrified, but I'm always like, I always wince a little bit at birthday gifts because every year for my birthday, he would get me one of the CDs he's destroyed of mine. And it would be like, no, this is not what this is for. This is for new things that I like. This is my birthday. This is not when you come and you make repentances for things you should have replaced forever ago.
That's amazing.
And I was just like, oh, great. I've gotten the same Offspring CD 3 years in a row because you just keep taking it and ruining it.
Oh, you help him put those guys through college for the 5th time.
Yeah.
My brother had the same problem where he would like take a DVD out of the DVD player back in the day and he would just set it on top of the DVD player upside down and then put the new disc in. And it's like the case is right there. You literally left the case on top of the DVD player also.
You had to
have it right next to it. Drive me bonkers.
Anyway.
I was going to say something before we started recording about like, I don't think we need to try to flesh this out to make it an hour.
Right.
I don't think we have to do that. I think it's happening on accident.
Oh, yeah,
I'm not sure how long we're at, but
we're at an hour 10.
Of course we are.
Yeah, initially I
just had 2 cards to talk about. That was it.
I had the same feeling as we started. I was like, yeah, if we have a half an hour, 45-minute episode, it's fine.
We should have known better.
Yeah.
There was one thing we wanted to talk about.
Yes.
Upcoming kind of news for us, for the network, for the stream.
Yeah.
We are going to be running the Infinity War League.
Yes.
On the stream. We're going to make a kind of big deal about it. I'm going to say it here, so it's going to be like solid. Danny has agreed to face me on the table, MCP Throwdown. We're going to do a special edition episode at some point on like a Saturday, because we can't play together on a Monday night because we got to put the kid to bed.
Yeah.
He's almost 3, so it's a disaster for anybody else to put him to bed right now. Maybe in a year from now, that'll be different.
Yeah.
But so we're gonna fit in a special bonus episode of a Cole Throwdown.
It'll be super cool.
It's going to be great because she gets so mad when I do stuff to her in games like that.
Yeah. Just let her win.
Way back in the day when she dabbled with Warhammer Fantasy, you should have seen her get real mad when she played Tomb Kings. Because the army wasn't very good anyway, but like,
yeah,
she blew up a squig bomb one time where the squigs just went everywhere and just did damage to a bunch of stuff, and she almost rage quit. She'll probably tone it down for the stream, but if you listen to a Grim Podcast, A Perilous Adventure, what is it, episode, I want to say 28?
Oh, yeah.
Mina's Meltdown, maybe 29.
Mm-hmm.
She even got the title after her, that game.
That said, so we're going to be running the Infinity League thing on the stream. Bearded Dragon Games and Hobbies has gifted us the ability to give away some of the player kits.
Yeah.
So make sure if you haven't subscribed or followed us over there already that you do, because we will most likely be giving those out live on stream. So if you want to get your own set of the stickers and the cards,
here's some stickers.
Hit us up.
I'm really excited for this. When we first got this kit, I wanted to do it like immediately, because when I that's how I am with things. Like if I get excited about it, I want to do it right now. Mm-hmm. Luckily, Tim calmed me down. He was like, "No, stupid, we can't do that right now." Scheduling stuff didn't work out, so we luckily the Civil War thing came out right then, so that was 3 weeks of content, or not just content, but 3 weeks of something different. Mm-hmm. But we'll be able to hopefully schedule that in soon
and have all these new characters potentially.
Yeah, a bunch of new characters, because we're actually going to set like a 10 model roster. Each of us will play at least 3 games.
Yep. For
it against hopefully different opponents each time. But we'll like if Tim and I have to play twice throughout it, not a huge deal. Yeah. It's built to be able to do that. Yeah. Which is because it's meant to be played in one day. We did a whole episode about this a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
But this one, I'm really excited for it just because it's something different. The missions, the crises that came in this set are really cool. They're very different.
Yes.
And they're kind of bonkers. Like it's not meant to be balanced. It even says specifically in the rules, don't bother tracking wins and losses because it's so unbalanced that it's not important.
Yeah, the abilities are just, some of them are nuts.
Let's just read off a couple just for hype's sake. So Space Gem powered, you'd have on your little gem tracker card. So you get these bonuses throughout the game. After deployment is completed before the first power phase of the game, you may place one objective token within range 3 of its current position. What? I haven't read most of these. That is insane. You just move an objective token up to range 3. That's 6 inches.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I got a lot
by something.
No, they're all over the place, man. Like
so good.
Once per game. No, that's not a great one. Once per game during your turn, you may swap damage tokens on 2 allied characters. Being able to effectively full heal someone by putting a little bit of damage on She-Hulk or something like that is awesome. Or someone with healing factors or healing.
Yeah. Is that a reality?
That is a soul gem. I feel like there was a reality one that was like bonkers.
Oh, time gem. Once per game during the power phase, you may take the priority token.
Yes.
You have to spend 10 power and be Criminal Syndicate to do it. Just give me that. Get over here.
When determining which crisis cards are used for the game, you may pick your crisis card after your opponent has revealed theirs. If both players have this effect, it does nothing. So granted, we've never done that on the stream.
True.
But
I think for this we will.
Oh, for this, yeah, we will.
We're going to do it way more by the book. These are bonkers. I can't wait. I think it fits our style perfectly, where we're not really concerned about like the meta or what's, we're not part of the competitive scene.
Right.
So I think this kind of wonkiness fits us to a T.
It does. Especially, we'll probably add some new channel rewards that people can redeem points for too. Because we see each week now people are getting in the hang of removing my ability to use counters ever. This is super cool. It's my favorite thing that you guys do.
We could always modify that so it's not the whole game. It's like for that round, that activation phase,
make it cheaper.
I think that wouldn't be as game breaking.
Yeah,
because like in the moment we can get a little competitive here and there just because we're playing a game where obviously we're both trying to win.
Yeah,
but like something like that can be a little more frustrating than it's meant to be because it's supposed to just be a fun little thing to add to it to spice it up.
I dig it personally. I think it's really fun because it forces you out of your comfort zone and forces you to think not off of the things that you should be relying on certain characters for. Like if you have to play Venom as not someone that you send to the thick of it to be able to get damage on, you got to play a lot different. It's neat.
Keep you on your toes.
And
then we get us yelling at each other, yelling at the chat like, no, or yeah, thanks for the power. That kind of thing. I really like those channel rewards. That's the word.
So if you have any ideas for new channel rewards that you would like to see on that, leave it in the comments below. Also, I'll announce it here, I guess. We're going to figure out a way to give player kits away to you guys here on YouTube as well, for commenting on the videos from the league. Whoa. So maybe we'll try to give away 2 a week, 1 on stream live, and then for those that can't make it live, for commenting below on the YouTube videos.
Oh, cool. Yeah, just like pick a random commenter kind of thing.
Yeah. Give it a week. Send her out.
Sound cool. I like it.
I mean, who can stop me? No one.
Giveaways. We've got giveaways.
With that said, make sure to check out all the other stuff here on the Professional Casual Network. Dan streams at Grim Stream of Perilous Lore on Sundays, where he goes over lore, cities, books, all sorts of stuff from the old world of Warhammer. Mondays, obviously, is the Power Phase on twitch.tv/Professional Casual Network. Check that out at 7 p.m. Eastern every Monday. We also have Lost Omens podcast, Pathfinder 2nd Edition Actual Play podcast, and we have another Actual Play podcast called A Grim Podcast of Perilous Adventure.
I was like, which day are you talking about? Because there's a couple.
Had a little stroke there for a second. That's on Thursdays. That's a Warhammer 4th Edition Actual Play podcast where we are playing through the Enemy Within campaign on Book 2, Death on the Reich.
So good.
Tuesdays is, you're watching it right now. It's Wait, Did I Roll a Wild? Also, Wednesdays here on the YouTube and early access for those on the Patreon at the $10 tier and above is Settling the Southlands. This is a completely custom campaign made by this guy right here, where we are trying to tame the wilds of the Southlands in a Warhammer 4th Edition actual play.
Bonkers. I love it. So much fun.
So stupid fun.
The characters you guys came up with for that are just chef kiss.
Fridays is Elite 8 Showdown. If
you
want to be offended, if you want to not be offended, if you want to hear about things that you love, and if you want to hear it from people that you'll learn to hate, check out Elite 8 Showdown. That's every Friday video for that. And all of our podcasts is on the Patreon, patreon.com/professional casual. Woo! See you next week. Bye.
Bye.